Well, today we're going to focus on postmodernism, and we're going to be looking at the time period of the 1970s, 80s, and 90s in moving from modernism to a declared period of postmodernism. And so during this time in the 70s was really the first oil embargo by several Arab countries that curtailed the exportation of oil and thus causing a worldwide energy crisis. And so this put the world into a recession that would sort of dash the hopes of the modernist movement. So the modern movement was, just a certain zeal and excitement about moving into the new century. And then with this global recession, it just kind of crushed the optimistic modernist movement. And so there was a disillusionment about the modernist movement, and it moved into sort of a grab all you can get um, attitude, consumerism, and just really just buying everything you could possibly buy because of the recession. Um, and so this was kind of moved us into the 1980s and, the building of giant homes, McMansions, and just consumerism. It was also the time when Ronald Reagan was our president, and he promoted sort of an entrepreneurial, capitalistic emphasis. And so as we move into the 1990s, in this postmodernist movement, we're going to look at, architects and design teams that were operating during the 80s and 90s. And in the 90s, there would become a rise of the environmentalists. So people that were concerned that all this manufacturing, all this consumerism was producing an undesirable burden on the earth. And, we're concerned about this excessive materialism. So, in the 1990s, the other element that was happening was the creation of portable telephones. Believe it or not, before the 90s, there were not portable telephones. You were sort of anchored to a location to talk on the phone. So, the personal computer, the portable telephones, all of this communication, and particularly cross-cultural communication, was just extended. And we were much more aware of other cultures and other things happening around the globe. In my lecture, will go into the Memphis Group, which was a group of designers, architects that came together kind of cross-culturally, and they kind of established the postmodern design style, if you will. And what's interesting about the postmodern style was that furniture and that was seen more as a source of communication. So the style of the furniture was typically kind of outlandish, flashy, colorful, but it wasn't produced to be functional like the modernist movement, but to be a talking point or a communication of some idea. And so we're going to see the pop culture during this time. Also the process of manufacturing, such as injection molded manufacturing of plastics, influenced what was being able to be produced with that injection molding manufacturing process. You could produce more sculptural pieces of furniture with very vibrant colors, so that's going to add to the style of the postmodern period. During this period, too, there's sort of a sub movement too, which there always are. The true craftsmen were still fighting for uh, the true craft of furniture making and using of honest and real natural materials versus the high tech producers of furniture who are really into the latest manufacturing processes and the high tech look, which you'll notice in a lot of my slides in the lecture. Um, the other thing that was developing during the 90s was office design. And so, the office was a focal point of employment, and with the creation of the personal computer, the laptop computer, um, offices drastically changed their layouts and how the operation of a standard office changed. And so office furniture from Herman Miller or other producers was very influential during this time in trying to mitigate, these changes in communication, the changes in types of working. Some employers allowed working out of the home office or uh, different styles of working. It became more diverse, and so there was a great interest in the production of functional office furnishings for a variety of um, activities. And so this is a very interesting time. I hope you enjoy my lecture. And just this period of time is kind of a funky kind of furniture time, goes with sort of the pop art period. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So, yeah, thanks. And take a look at the postmodern movement.